Friday, you guys. We have a fun little work set for you guys today. It's going to be a little bit for time, but you got some stuff on the minute to take down. So before we get to that, let's talk about our warm-up. Our warm-up is going to consist of dynamic triangle of 3 to 5 a side, sumo good morning for 5, and a side lunge for 6 to 10 alternating reps for 2 rounds. We're looking at trying to wake things up a little bit for that lower half of the body, make sure things feel pretty good, and just see how things are feeling moving into the rest of the warm-up. After that piece, we're going to move into our bridge pullback, which is 3 to 10 seconds. We're trying to hold that contraction for 10 seconds. If you can't quite hold for 10, that's fine. Hold for 5 to 10, something that allows you to get that good hamstring engagement, but not cramp your hamstrings up. After, weighted Deadbug for 6 to 10 alternating reps, and we finish off with a single leg bridge march for 20 seconds. And we'll hit that up for 2 rounds. Again, it's going to really supercharge those hamstrings, get that core kind of fired up, ready for action in terms of today's work set, and get you ready for our next phase, which is going to be some dumbbell skill work. We're going to break down the movement in our workout today in individual pieces. So what we have for you guys is a dumbbell deadlift for 3, dumbbell hang power clean for 2, a full clean for 1, and then we're going to work on a nice solid work set of dumbbell dumbbell pause dip for 1 to 3 seconds, dumbbell pause push press for 1 to 3 seconds, and then a push press for 1. So really breaking down each stage of the push press to maximize that leg drive. You can take that down as many times as necessary to get yourself fired up, ready for action before tackling the workout. The workout is 50 dumbbell clean and jerks, or clean and jerks, right? With this work set, you will start each minute with 5 V-ups. Then you'll take down what you can in terms of reps in that clean and jerk until you finish your 50. So if you hit that top of the minute, bam, you're into those 5 lovely V-ups. Take down what you can for the clean and jerk, rest as you need to, break things down. You're going to use those minutes to slowly chunk away 50 clean and jerks in total. We are working with a full squat clean, so I want you guys to work on that nice full squat stand into your jerk. So it's going to be a formal clean and jerk today. So there's a little bit of extra squatting, a little bit of extra work there. So it's going to slow you down a little bit. So stay focused, stay clean in those movements, and have fun. Let's get you warmed up. Let's get you ready to go. We'll have some fun today. All right, let's get those feet under the hips. We're going to take the arms big and tall overhead. We're going to stretch over to one side. We're going to come back up and over to the other side. Coming back through, let's scratch our back and then reach through the elbow. We'll come back up, big stretch overhead, we'll scratch our back, and again, reach to the one side, big stretch, and forward fold. Taking those hips back, we're gonna wake up those hamstrings. We'll come up the shins, so we'll flow down, framing a foot, stepping back into your lizard. We're gonna get that nice long body position. We're gonna lower the knee, we're gonna press the hip, we're gonna come back to the center. Press the hip, back to center, and press the hip, back to center. Straightening out the back leg, we're going to slowly straighten the front leg, and plant the foot, and straighten the front leg, and plant the foot, and straighten the front leg, and plant the foot. We'll step back into our down dog as we reach those hips super high, walking those heels out one at a time, just nice and steady. Wake up the feet and the ankles. As we come through into that nice plank, we'll step our foot up. In that nice, solid square position, we'll lower the back knee, press the hip to center, press the hip to center, and press the hip back to center. Straightening the leg, straighten the front leg, plant the foot, front leg, plant the foot, and front leg, and plant the foot. Step back into our down dog, reaching those hips nice and high again, walking those feet out one at a time, just making sure things feel pretty good overall. Then we'll come back into our plank and tiptoe those feet all the way up and roll ourselves up tall, big tall stretch. Big reach and a big reach. We'll bring those hands down. And get you guys fired up and ready to go. So if there's any extra kind of warm-up you'd like to take down, Pause the video, take that down for yourself right now, maybe a little bit extra upper body love, lower body, depending how the body's feeling today. And I'm gonna get you guys going in that first phase of warm-up. All right, we're gonna kickstart you guys off with a little bit of hinge work and some lower body stuff. We're gonna set ourselves up in our sumo stance. We're gonna turn a toe and turn the other toe on the angle, so we're nice and open on a diagonal with the hips. Hand is gonna come to the thigh, other hand's gonna screw in that light bulb above into that nice overhead position, and then we're gonna pull the hip towards the back heel. Giving ourselves space to slowly lower down the shin as we slowly come back up that thigh. So again, we want to think about pulling the hip back. That's what initiates that hinge. Reaching the arm up the entire time as we maintain that good overhead position. Now, with this, we're going to take both sides, taking our time. Remember, both sides are not created equal, so make sure we're listening to our range of motion on both sides of the body. After that, we're going to square our body up. Toes can be still slightly turned out, and if you'd like to use your hand reference here, you can. But we're going to use a sumo good morning just to wake up our hamstrings a bit. So we squeeze and set through the ribs and hips. We draw the hips back into that nice good morning, working on soft knees, big toes on the floor, and then we stand nice and slow. Drawing back into that hinge, and then stand, that nice big squeeze. As we work through that nice flow. So again, pretending like we have a PVC attached to our head, shoulders, and hips, that whole upper body moves as one piece. So the entire flow and hinge at that hip crease keeps our body in that nice long back and straight position. Coming out of that side lunge, that good morning, we're going to move into the side lunge. So we're going to take our feet out a little wider, but still able to stand comfortably open through the hips. We don't want to go so wide that we have to be kind of forward in our body. We want to make sure we're able to open up those hips. We're going to take our hip towards our heel, thinking about squatting. So I want you to think, drawing that hip down towards that heel, keeping that body upright, and then pushing through that leg to get that nice single leg engagement. Drawing the hip towards the heel, keeping that shin nice and upright. That knee is going to be tracking the toe just like a normal squat, and then standing tall at the top of each rep. So really taking the time to kind of move slowly through that, opening up those hips and really listening to our posture. So if our body starts to tip, we want to make sure that we stop that movement and just ease into our range of motion that allows us to keep that upright body posture. Now, as a quick recap, we have a dynamic triangle for 3 to 5 a side, sumo good morning for 5 reps, and a side lunge of 6 to 10 alternating reps, taken relatively slow, and we're going to hit that for 2 rounds, just to get that lower half, that posture position worked on to get ourselves prepped for our work set. Pause the video, take that down, come back. We're going to lay down for a little while and heat up those hamstrings and that core. Our next phase of movement is going to consist of some bridges and some weighted dead bugs. So we're going to stay on the floor. With a dumbbell, if you're going to use the dumbbell close by, so within an arm's reach. We're going to lay down on our back, and our fingers are going to be just outside our heels. So like, yeah, we're just outside reach there. What we're going to do is we're going to take our arms up to the sky, and what we're going to do is set those shoulders nice and strong, pressing those shoulders up. From here, we are going to pull the ribs in a bit, push down with the feet into this bridge, and then we're going to shift our weight to the balls of the feet, and then pull those heels back. As we pull those heels back, I want you to keep reaching with those arms, keeping that upper body engagement and that core solid. Now with this, if you're not comfortable taking the arms above the chest with this one and would like a little extra support, you can leave the arms down the side of the body, pressing them into the floor to open up the chest. This pressure into the floor is not to lift your hips higher, but just to give you some more support as we allow ourselves to focus on pulling the heels back. So that's a personal preference depending on your comfort level with that pullback. Remembering also that when we shift our weight to the balls of the feet, we're not pushing into the toes, we're just shifting the weight, which is going to allow a little bit of space between the heel and the floor, but there's a difference between that and pushing. Pushing into the toes just creates a lot of tension through the calf that we're not really after. We're looking for that hamstring engagement, not tension through the calves. Once we're done those reps, we have that 3 rep with 10-second contraction or 5 to 10 seconds. Remembering we don't want to let those calves or those hamstrings cramp up. We want to make sure we're pushing to the edge that we can control and recover from. Once we're done those 3, we're going to grab our dumbbell, or not, depending on your comfort level again. We're going to get that dumbbell in both hands. We're going to pull the ribs in. We're going to push the shoulders up to the sky. And then we're going to maintain this pressure into the dumbbell and into the floor as we lift our feet up to the 90-90. Now we have a choice. We can either do this with a bent leg, or we can do it with a straight leg as we work our way out to that full extension. You can even work somewhere between, depending where your comfort level lies with being able to keep that low back in contact and that pressure into the dumbbell. So what we do again, we set the dumbbell, pushing those shoulders to the sky, pulling the ribs in, lifting those feet up, and we're going to alternate back and forth, giving yourself a little pause on either end of the movement so that we have that control and that good time under tension. With that weighted dead bug, what we want to think about is just really holding that midsection as one piece and slowly extending those legs to where you feel comfortable. After that, we're going to continue with some bridge work, but we're going to work that single leg bridge march. So we're going to get ourselves set up, shoulders again, reaching to the sky, ribs come in, we push through the feet to get that nice bridge, and then we're going to push down with a foot and lift the other foot. So that pressure down with that non-lifted foot is very important because that's going to create stability through that leg, through the hamstring, through the glute to maintain that nice level pelvis as we work back and forth through that march. With this march, you're going to be doing about 20 seconds of just steady movement. They don't have to be fast steps. I'm not looking for a ton of reps here. I'm looking for that feeling of pressure into the floor, that control through the stability, pressure down, that lift. So it's a great opportunity to work with time under tension and a nice balanced, stable pelvis. So don't worry about trying to go fast with your feet. It's more important to get the stability and the balance through those legs. As a quick recap, we have a bridge pullback of 3 at 10 seconds or 5 to 10 seconds, weighted dead bug or non-weighted dead bug, 6 to 10 alternating reps, and a single leg bridge march of 20 seconds, working on that time under tension and that nice neutral pelvis. We have 2 rounds of that. It's going to supercharge that core and hamstring, getting you ready for what's to come. So take that down, pause the video, come back. We're going to grab this dumbbell and we're going to break down the clean and jerk. Okay, what we have for you guys, we have a broken down clean and jerk coming your way with this work set. So our next phase of warm-up is really going to give you a chance to break down the skills and necessities of the clean and jerk. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand over top of the dumbbell. I'm going to get myself set up so the dumbbell cuts my foot in half. I'm going to draw the hips back and down, keeping the chest up a little higher, weight through the midfoot, and I'm going to take hold of that dumbbell. Then I'm going to push through the legs and stand tall. From here, I can take it down as far as I feel comfortable, maintain that back position. So it doesn't necessarily have to touch the floor. We just have to take it down to where my edge lies of my range of motion. I'm going to knock off 3 of those deadlifts. From there, I'm going to move into a hang power clean. So I'm going to take that same hinge, take the dumbbell to the knee, push through those legs, and land in that power position. I'm going to come back down with that. So I pull back to that hinge to the knee, drive through the legs, pull into that little power squat, and stand. From here, we're going to bring it all together and do one full squat plank. So we're going to take the dumbbell all the way down to wherever you feel comfortable, push through those legs, drive, full clean, set your feet, and then then you're on to the upper body portion. So once we've done that full clean, we're gonna keep that dumbbell in that front rack position, feet are under the hips, nice and tight to the ribs and hips, pause, dip. So the knees go slightly out, body stays upright, nice and tall and stacked. Then I stand tall. This one's a little different. So we're gonna work a pause push press. You're going to come down to the bottom of the dip, feel your feet, feel your positions, 3 seconds goes by, push press. Come back down. And then we move through a full push press. Dip and drop. And then we start again. So we have that nice full sequence, everything broken down into individual segments, kind of working on some finer tuned skills, flat foot balance, weight through the midfoot, and that really good hinge and stacked vertical position in the push press and the clean. So we're gonna break down a couple of these movements that are a little funky. The deadlift, very straightforward, working on that good back position, taking it as deep as you feel comfortable and able to maintain your back position. Your clean, just taking, your hang power clean, taking it to the knee, moving through that range of motion, but really focusing on that landing position, that power position, finding that nice power squat. So if I was to say, and squat, you could just continue the squat from where you land and where your hips are. Bringing those two things together to hit that full clean, taking that dumbbell down to where you feel comfortable to start with, and then taking it through that full squat clean to get those legs heated up. Now the next phase with that pause dip, pause push press combo. The pause dip we do quite often. We're grooving that position, working through that nice knee out position, flat foot, vertical torso. The pause push press, little different. So we're gonna break this down for a few reps just so you can see what I'm talking about. I clean the dumbbell up, the dumbbell's up in my shoulder, rack position's normal. I come down into my pause dip. I feel my feet, my knees are out. Then from my 3-second hold, I drive through the legs, up and press. People tend to want to do this. Pause, dip, my 3 seconds goes by, and then re-dip and go. There's no down, up anymore. We've done the down in the pause, and then it's just up. So we have to fight the urge to try and get momentum, all right, with that dip, because we're just practicing positions and leg drive with that pause push press. It's gonna feel strange, all right? But then we bring it all together at the end with a nice smooth push press. So again, with the pause push press at speed, we set, we dip, hold 3, 2, 1, stand press. Come back down. Dip, hold 1, 2, 3, stand press. So it's a straightening of the legs, opening of the hips, driving through the dumbbell. So it gives us a really good opportunity to feel the leg drive. Like I say, it's very challenging, very awkward, but it's gonna give you a chance to really isolate that dip and really work those legs. Now, as a quick recap with that piece, we have 3 dumbbell deadlifts, 2 dumbbell hang power cleans, 1 dumbbell full squat clean, into a dumbbell pause dip at 3 seconds, 1 pause push press at 3-second hold, and 1 smooth push press to get that body moving smoothly and bringing everything together, executing that really nice dip. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can take the sequence down with 2 dumbbells. If you have 1, take it down on one side, then take it down on the other side, giving yourself that chance to experience the whole complex before we move on to the work set. Pause the video, take that down, rock those skills. We're gonna move into a little practice round, which we're gonna practice the full clean and press or clean and jerk, and talk about our VM. Okay, we're just here right before the workout. So the workout consists of a clean and jerk for 50 reps, and at the start of every minute, you do 5 VMs. So we just spent a little bit of time breaking down the clean and jerk. So now we're gonna do a couple reps of the clean and jerk or clean and press, pulled together as one smooth flow. So what you're going to do is you're going to get yourself set up over the dumbbell. You'll take yourself down in the bottom position of your deadlift or your clean setup. You'll get nice and tight. You're going to push through those legs, clean, full squat, stand, and either push press or push, jerk, standing through. You'll alternate, you'll come down, clean, full squat, set, push, press, or push, jerk. Then you'll alternate back to the other side. So you're going to take those reps down. So that full clean is going to make things interesting. It's going to slow things down a little bit in terms of the movement, and you may find those legs get a little gassed. But we're doing a traditional clean and press or clean and jerk. So that means we're doing 2 movements to create 1. We're not doing that hybrid variation today where we're going to do that smooth press right from the squat. No, we're doing clean and press or clean and jerk. So 2 movements to create 1. So have fun with this, really enjoy the breakdown of these movements and see where it takes you. Once we're done our set, and the minute beeps, we got some V-ups to do. So we have lots of variations for our V-ups. What we want to focus on today is a slightly faster variation of V-up for ourselves because we are limited in our time frame. We still want to make sure we're doing them well and they challenge us, but definitely lean to the side of a faster movement to a slower movement in today's workout. So in terms of our options today, we have our full V-up, which consists of 2 legs, 2 hands coming up through that movement, reaching towards the toes. We can do a single leg V-up, keeping those legs straight as we reach up towards the toes. And we can work on the same similar style with a tuck up. So my legs stay bent, I sit up, meeting halfway. I can do it with a single leg, working on meeting halfway. And I can also work through some hollow-ups. So if I'm not quite ready for that kind of hinging pattern, I can still work on that really intense core position as I pull my ribs in together, hit that little hollow, and down. Hollow, and down. I can also do that with a single leg, working back and forth, using that other leg as an assistance tool. Now those are some nice options for this work set. Another option that we can use is that pike sit-up. So my toes are straight, arms are long, I sit up tall, I try and touch my toes as best I can, and I lay down, touch, and come back up. So in terms of our V-up today, those are some nice options that allow you to work on good speed plus some good engagement through the core. Now with that, pick the variation that suits you the best, that's going to give you the best feel, but allow you to move pretty steady. We don't want those 5 reps to kind of hold you down or bog you down. We should be able to knock off 5 reps relatively steady, move into our dumbbell, start with those clean and press or jerk, and then get right back into the V-ups. If you're doing a single leg V-up or tuck up, or hollow up I should say as well, it's total count of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, continue on, and move into your dumbbell work. So as a quick recap of this workout, 3, 2, 1, go. You start with your V-ups. You'll stand up, you'll knock off as many clean and presses as you can in the remaining time of that minute. Once it gets to the top of the minute, you'll lay back down, you'll do your V-ups, take that down nice and steady, and then continue flowing through that sequence until you've completed 50 total count clean and jerk or clean and press. Then you're done. So remember with this clean and jerk, we are doing a traditional clean and jerk, so a full squat clean, set, push press, or jerk, to work through that good clean movement and have a lot of fun with this one. This is going to be a cool little work set, you guys. Manage your fatigue, manage your time well so you can get yourself set up and maximize the time and work in that minute. I hope you have a ton of fun with this one, you guys. As always, work for quality, have a good time rocking this one, and we'll see you tomorrow to close out the week with another cool little work set. Bye, you guys.